thinking about doing like a mod thing for
Yeah.
this.
All right. Let's see.
My computer says live.
Yeah, it says live here. I don't know if it's
Hello.
it says live. I don't know. It's not showing up on YouTube, but let's see. We're just trying to figure stuff out here. If that's actually happening. Let's see.
Oh, live now. Holy shit. Oh,
On
wait.
YouTube?
Sorry, on your channel, do you have language parameters?
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right, we got it. There's just a delay.
Oh, I see me on your channel. That's
Excellent. So, hey Nerfers, my name is Jay, and I have with me Frank Cooper, also known as Coop772. This is a new segment I'm going to be doing called Know Your Modder, where I interview different YouTube Nerf personalities, and I thought Coop would be a good person to start with. So, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm excited that this is actually working and that we finally got things figured out with this.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so, I'm going to start this off easy. When did you first get into modding, and like what was it about Nerf that really drew you in?
I got into Nerf, into modding 2007, I think. Timeline's a little tricky for me. My brother was in senior tag, which is assassins kind of, but for senior high school, the seniors at his high school would try to shoot each other with Nerf toys outside of class time for eliminations, and there was like a prize pool. And I was just mechanically curious, so I took apart some of his guns to see if I could make him shoot further. This was like Night Finder, nothing hardcore. And then it just steamrolled. I looked online for research and found Nerf Haven a few months after I got into that, and it as
Just
everybody.
spiraled from there.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's Nerfer story is the same. Like you look at a Nerf gun, you say, I wonder if I can make this better. You go online and you're like, oh look, a bunch of other nerds have already done this. Let's just gang up
Yeah.
and share ideas.
And so you'd say, so like the first blast that you modded was like what, a Night Finder?
Either a Night Finder or a Maverick, one of
It's usually
those.
the Maverick.
Yeah, the Maverick.
I know that was my first mod.
Yeah, well, it's a good one.
It's an easy one to start with.
Yeah. Some
I don't
people.
know if good. I don't know if good is the right word to use. But
Okay, good point. Good point. I meant like when they're like, oh, my first mod's gonna be a rapid strike rewire. Well, hopefully you know how electricity works. Otherwise,
have you ever soldered before? No? Well, try something else. All right. So, what would you say is the mod or blaster that you're proudest of?
my Poonbow, my most recent mod, absolutely. I can't imagine ever being prouder than that project. Oh my gosh, have you
Do
seen
you have
that?
a video of that up?
Yeah. That just October 1 was released, or October 1st.
Okay, I'll put a link to that in the description of this as well afterwards, because
Have
I
you
don't
seen
think I've
that
seen
one?
that one yet.
Oh, dude. Oh, dude, you're in for it. Oh, I got a stripe and then I hacked up a Nerf crossbow and I glued it to the stripe.
Oh, maybe I
Yeah.
did see that, and I didn't know how to feel about it because it was a crossbow, and I was like, this is amazing, but also painful to look at.
That was the point of the whole mod. Me and Zalat, this has been an idea for years. We've always joked about like one night we're gonna get drunk and hack up a crossbow and glue it to something.
Oh my god.
So
I think honestly, like it makes it less painful to know that it's still like a functional blaster. Like if you integrated like a Maverick into that, I would lose it.
But I would argue, as far as functionality goes, the crossbow is now obsolete. You can build a homemade for less expensive that's superior in firepower, comfort, cost, everything.
That's true.
I really like the stock, so that's why I put it onto a Flywheel Master Race, and now it performs better than any crossbow can for not NIC, but for everything else. But,
Yeah, basically at this point, it's just kind of become like a status symbol.
yeah, it's an e-penis thing. Oh, I just gained 6 inches. Woo! I have a crossbow. That's it.
I have a crossbow and I'm out $350.
Oh, they've come down quite a bit. They're
Really?
between 100 and 150 US dollars now.
That's much more reasonable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still a piece
I
of
mean,
plastic, so
yeah,
that's
it's still kind of unreasonable, but like,
yeah. The new in box ones go for over 300. That's still a
oh, I
thing.
believe it.
That's going to continue to be a thing, but
Yeah. All right. moving on. What would you say is the mod / blaster that you hate the most?
I hate the Deploy and the Centurion. I despise both of those blasters. As far as mods go, any of my mods, I can't say I hate any of them, and other people's mods, so long as you're having fun with it, I can't say I would ever hate somebody's mod. That's just not how I, perceive other people's work. Although single Titans, that's a pain. If you show up to a Nerf war, then I hate that mod because that's just obnoxious. I don't want to bleed at a Nerf war.
So I'm thinking you'll stay away from like the Australian Nerfers and their high pressurized air blasters. I can't talk today.
Some of those HVA guys, I mean, those are built for rate of fire. I'm assuming they use a pressurized tank, so the HVA fills an existing tank in order to shoot faster rate of fire. I don't think they're putting holes in each other over there.
I've seen some pictures of some pretty damaging hits.
Oh, I only have a few contacts over there.
From what I've heard, they're just really hardcore over there. So it'll be interesting bringing my slightly modified Elite Alpha Trooper to the mix.
Yeah, well, I think they have a different dynamic, similar to England, or not as much, but airsoft is illegal in Australia, and I'm pretty sure paintball is heavily regulated, like similar to firearms. So the people who are out there to hurt each other and to feel like badasses, they don't have paintball and airsoft to get them out of their hobby. Like in America, we don't have those super aggressive people in Nerf because they go and hurt each other in other hobbies.
Exactly.
They don't have that. So I feel like they might have more of those personality types. Nothing against that, of course.
No.
Not my thing.
Yeah. Makes sense. So you already said worst blaster. What would, like, out of stock Nerf blasters, what would you say would be the best?
Assuming a super stock or stock war, I would say if I had to pick one to use, like given everybody's classification, of course, the strong arm I really like and the hammer shot. Even after modifications, you're not going to gain awesome performance, and they perform really well in stock form. A lot of people misunderstand my love of the Strife. I frequently say Strife's the best Nerf gun ever, mostly as a joke, but in stock form, the Strife actually sucks. The trigger lock is terrible, and I hate the Strife in unmodified form. It's not fun. I prefer a Raven, but in modified form, heck yeah. But strong arm and hammer shot are... I struggle with the word best in any context.
Okay.
Fun blasters to use that work as they should. Yeah.
So, follow-up question. Strong arm versus hammer shot. Which side are you on?
I'm making a video about that, so I'm not going to ruin it.
Okay.
Yeah. The spoiler or leaking just for the people on Nerf Youtube channel. I'm doing a versus series. This versus this.
Ooh.
This is super down low here. The first one should launch in November, but it should be a reoccurring series where I compare and contrast different blasters in a slightly entertaining fashion. I have some cool plans for it.
And that's kind of like a perfect segue into this next question. I've noticed, I mean, you used to, like your older videos, you're all very much about business. Like you're all straight to the point. You're very methodical and analytical in your older videos. And in your more recent stuff, I've noticed a pretty dramatic shift away from that and more into the lighthearted, kind of poking fun at the community videos, which I personally really like. I love humor in any form, so I like that, and I think the viewers like that a lot too. So what really prompted this shift?
Trying to find the best way to word it. I essentially analyzed my life outside of YouTube, just me as a consciousness, as a human being, and I was saying, this is where I am, this is where I want to be, let's change that, because I was unhappy with who I am and how I perceive reality effectively. So I literally wrote out a list of personality traits that I disliked, and I wrote out a 3-month plan on how to modify them into a better person, or what I perceive as a better person, not a superior person, but a better, healthier person, and happier. To modify my pursuit of happiness throughout life, which I'm getting way outside of YouTube here, and that just sort of leaked into YouTube. To be friendlier and happier in the pursuit of happiness is something I changed, and that's reflected in my videos because it's not all about, hey, let's make these things shoot as hard as possible. It's getting back to the roots of Nerf of if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. So I'm introducing more pure entertaining videos that have nothing to do with making blasters shoot hard or perform well at all. Like the combos videos, nothing of use is in any of those videos, but they're entertaining.
Honestly, I don't know which is funnier, just the fact that you tried to shoot over like a dart out of 40+ barrels, or that you actually bought or received 40+ barrels.
Hasbro only sent me that one PR package. They don't send me my blasters. They send blasters to other people, but
so that was all out of pocket.
Yeah. Tax deduction, bro.
Amazing. See, I think that's hysterical. I think that's great, and I love that personally.
Oh.
Let's see. So, kind of building off of that, what kind of other stuff do you do besides Nerf?
In the context of YouTube, internet, or just my life?
Just your life in general.
Oh, well, I'm a student, so I study. I like film. I like actively watching movies instead of passively. I passively watch some, and then I try to I enjoy editing, and what makes a good film a good film. More recently getting into that, and that should be hopefully passing through to my videos eventually in the short film genre. And I also drive a little bit. Haven't been doing that in the summer because no one goes outside in the summer in Florida. So through the winter I'll be driving. I do autocross, driving cars, by the way.
Yeah.
And I shoot firearms. And I know I'm Facebook friends with you, and I know you're anti-gun, so.
Well, no. All right. Here's the deal. Not to get political. I'm like, you can have guns. I don't care if you have guns. I like guns are fun. They're cool. I've shot a gun before. I shot a 22 like way back when I was like 12. I've also held a Mosin Nagant, but I mean, that thing was bigger than I was at the time, and I'm pretty short still, so it's probably about as big as I am. So, but I mean, like, I'm all for guns. Guns are cool. They're a lot of fun. Just don't point them at other people. That's my whole deal.
Until the bad guy points one at me, then I'll absolutely.
Yeah, like if you're defending yourself, go for it. Like, make him into Swiss cheese for all I care. Like, but yeah, so that, like, not to get political or anything, but
oh, that's not even political. That's common sense. You don't want
that is common sense. Like, I'm all for common sense. I'm all for that kind of stuff.
Well, it's a very tricky topic because I'm in support of controlling guns.
Yes.
The current methods of controlling firearms will inevitably landslide into stripping firearms from everyone. Mm-hmm. And when the government disarms the people are vulnerable, and the government makes them their bitch. And I don't accept that.
Well, we're already the government's bitch anyways, in one form or another.
Yeah, but comparing 60, 70 years ago, when I forget what year it is. Fucking time travel gets tricky, man. But when the Holocaust began, people were like sitting around saying exactly what they're saying today. Oh, nobody can have this much power. Nobody can seize a country. That can't happen. We're too evolved.
Exactly.
If I'm disarmed, but
yeah.
Now I
get that. So, but I digress. Let's see. So let's move on to some of the new lines that are coming out now. Thoughts on the Badlands line?
Badlands. I like the cosmetics a lot. I'm not sure they're going to apply to me as far as their functionality goes. They appear much more on the goofy-looking, cool, quirky things, and there's a place for that, absolutely.
Yeah, much more for like cosplaying, right?
That or more lighthearted Nerf. When I Nerf, I have lighthearted Nerf wars, and I also have Nerf wars where I am trying to wreck my opponent and just destroy them with foam, in two very different mentalities. So Doomlands would be great for the playful Nerf game, but I don't see them as competitive toys. I can't see myself moving off of box magazines because they're a great design. Box mags are used everywhere because they're freaking awesome. I don't think that the Doomlands line has plans to adopt box mags because that's not really where it doesn't seem in theme.
And honestly, like, that's the one thing that I would hope would happen is that we'd get some sort of clip-fed, blasters in that line. Or
clip.
Listen, my my demands are simple. I want functional, like kind of aesthetically pleasing blasters that use like high capacity like or magazines, like that can use that kind of stuff. I don't want 5 different blasters that all have 6 shots only.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well,
And that's what's been frustrating about like the Zombie Strike line is we literally had the sling fire. That was it.
Well, you have to look at the themes. What you're describing is more tactical, and that's in Strike Elite all the way. I mean, I don't think you should be looking in Zombie Strike or Doomlands. That's just, I don't think you should try to change the series. Just pick a different series.
Yeah.
Because the war practical, like the Retaliator, Alpha Trooper, Strife, those are more or less designed around effectively shooting foam. But
yeah,
the colors of Doomlands, especially the implementation of the clear stuff, I like that.
I like that too. It's interesting to see how they just kind of repurpose the hammer shot internals for like 3 of those blasters.
Yeah, well, people whine about reshells, but then release like a repaint. It's like, oh, it's the same thing. Well, when they change the shell, you whined about it. What do you want a new propulsion?
Exactly.
What else is there? We have spring, air, and flywheel. I mean,
so so switching from the more lighthearted side to the more competitive side, what are your thoughts on the Rival line?
Oh, I'm pumped for the Rival line. And I was just looking on Taobao, and I'm trying to get a hold of those. They have aftermarket balls, or the replica balls, because currently those Rival balls are expensive as crap. So
yeah, they really are.
Because I can't put down $100 on a Nerf loadout, like just for the ammo. I mean, that's outside of what I believe is reasonable. I prefer to shoot like Kush darts in an HVZ game. I shoot those all day long, and I don't even care if I get them back because they're
exactly.
I am pumped for the Rival line, though, because the consistency and accuracy in the groupings. I made a groupings video on that.
I saw that, actually. My jaw hit the floor. I was completely blown away. Yeah.
And I'd like to... It's difficult. I can't get the data, or I can't display the data that I'm trying to display because I wish I could chrono it at every 10 feet, just because the drop-off of velocity is so quick. It just goes out to 60 feet, and then it just stops. And it just drops. And the heavier balls, on Taobao, they have like 5-gram balls instead of the 3-gram stocker. Don't quote me on those figures, but a little bit heavier balls, which will carry and still not inflict pain because they're so big. So I'm pumped for the modifications to the balls and the blasters.
Interestingly enough, my Nerf club here at Fredonia almost outright banned the Apollo. Completely stock. They banned it because they thought it was too powerful from the get-go. So, I mean, that really... What's up?
Is it a church club or a university club?
This is a university club. This is on campus.
Do you mandate eye protection?
I think it's like in our bylaws that like it's advised. It's like it's all Nerf at your own risk anyways, so if you choose not to protect your eyes, that's your own fault. Like, we all sign a waiver anyways, so. But I actually like nailed the same person in the face at least twice with the Apollo. I actually have it. It's not even mine, but a friend of mine let me borrow it so I could review it. And I mean, the one draw that I really noticed, the one downside is that those balls are tiny. They're so small. Like, you lose them so easily.
Lose them in the air when you're target tracking or on the floor?
Oh, once you fire them, they roll and they're gone.
Yeah, I don't know that I complain about their size, but they roll. And I have hardwood floors. I lose. I found so many under my couch a few days after I was done, and yeah, I agree that they're ridiculous.
Yeah, and especially when you're playing with them outside, like, expect only to get like 20% of your total ammunition back, at least.
Yeah. That's why when cheaper ones hit the market,
exactly, yeah.
And I need to overhaul that stupid Zeus because that mag release system, honestly, like, I'm genuinely like mad at Hasbro because the rest of the blaster, the engineering is pretty solid. Like, I agree with most of the decisions. It feels nice. The mechanical engineering is solid. But that mag release lever, that guy should not have a job anymore. That is such a stupid. Gosh. I don't know why they don't just use something similar to the Apollo, just a shove it in, push a button, and release.
Yeah.
The current system requires like 4 hands to do it properly.
Yeah, I was thinking you could have like a hole or something in the back of the stock that you could just slide the.
That's what, I posted that on Facebook. Yeah, and
yeah.
I might have somebody 3D print. I have so many other projects before I can get around to that, but it wouldn't be that hard to just throw it through a bandsaw and print out a superior rear end. That's just a button that there's a way.
Because I know that someone, I think on Nerf Modders Welcome, did some sort of 3D printing design where they changed up how that release actually works, and they also changed up how it loads, or they made it a smoother loading process, because I know that was one of the other drawbacks of that, is that just the loading is not.
As someone who shoots firearms, if a gun tried to have this trigger pull, no one in the world would use it, because when you pull the trigger, it requires the wall, the break point of the trigger. You have to slam it down. It's probably like a 20-pound trigger pull. So by the time you pull, you've pulled your point of aim off. The whole blaster moves.
Oh, jeez.
The point is to stabilize completely so your trigger isn't, manipulating your point of aim. With Nerf, it's not a big deal compared to firearms, but
no,
trigger is, that's not optimal.
So, kind of changing topic completely. I remember I think it was over the summer that you got the Silver Play Button Award.
Yes.
What was that like?
I don't understand the question.
How did it feel to get that, to receive that from YouTube?
Oh, it felt cool. It's kind of a hassle to acquire one.
Really?
They don't just send it to you. You have to it's annoying because Google doesn't do it. They outsource it to this other place that I don't even need to. I'm not trying to complain at Google because
nuts.
And it was it felt cool. It's hanging up in my workshop right now, so anybody can just be like, hey, look at that. That's mine.
And that you received that after you pass 150,000 subscribers?
I received it at that point, but you get it, or you're eligible for the prize at 100,000.
Wow.
Yeah, so they were a little late.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And you get the gold one at 1 million, so
it's kind of a big difference in silver and gold, but.
Yeah, but if they made one at 500,000, a few years ago they gave you a $500 gift card to this photography shop online, so you could buy a better camcorder. But they stopped doing that, so you just get the silver button.
Yeah.
No complaints.
Hey, that's an amazing achievement. That's really cool. And you've been producing videos for how many years now?
I think my current Maverick video, that wasn't my first video, and a few people think I've been with you since the beginning of the Maverick video. That wasn't my first. I had a few years of videos before that. I think it was 2009. 2000.
Okay.
I don't remember.
So what? You're in school right now. Do you have plans to continue this after you get out of school?
Yeah, actually, full time, as my proper job. I have no interest in dropping out because the bachelor's degree is a good fallback, but I'm comfortable right now. So most importantly, I absolutely love what I do, and that's important to me for long-term sustainability of pursuit of happiness. And I wake up and I'm like, I get to make Nerf videos, and I get to put stupid amounts of time into thinking about and producing these videos because it's not just a hobby. I can justify it because I'm like, hey, I can pay rent now. Shut up to anybody who ever contests it.
And that's really cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so I think just 1 or 2 more questions, and then we'll wrap it up. These are kind of quicker, I think. We'll see. So the NIC is a pretty large community. It's actually rather large. And there are a lot of different facets to it and a lot of different parts. What would your favorite part of the NIC be?
Are you using NIC? This is used contextually a little differently between the groups. Are you saying all of Nerf on the internet, or are you referring to Stefan NIC?
All of Nerf. I'm trying to keep it pretty general.
My favorite is YouTube, just because I'm the most involved in that compared to the other things. But I'm a little biased. I accept that.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And what would your least favorite part of the NIC be?
No matter what I say, somebody's going to get butthurt.
Hey, honestly, at this point, you just gotta accept that people get butthurt no matter what.
Oh, I've accepted that. Yeah, I mean, you don't make a combos video and get all positive feedback. I know people get butthurt, and I like it. It feeds me, honestly.
You've seen Bobololo's video of him reading mean comments, right?
No,
You haven't seen that?
I think I saw the thumbnail.
Oh, it's pretty funny. I'd recommend watching that because that's perfect. It's so good.
Yeah.
So your least favorite part would be,
There are parts. It's more of an attitude that people display on various areas, and I think that's a more accurate way of saying what I dislike. Because to say I don't like Facebook groups is wrong. But there are a lot of people who post aggressive things that they're trying to change other people's minds without effectively changing. They're just bitching essentially, and they're saying, "Hey, you're a noob. You stop using this." And on Reddit and Facebook especially, people try to control others. And something I dislike is when people say, "Do not paint something all black." Under no circumstances should you do that. I disagree with that, and that's all over the internet. Because used in a controlled way, that's not illegal. First of all, that's false to assume it's illegal, and it's not unsafe unless you're going around outside like an idiot.
Exactly.
And, I mean, look at some of the cosplays. They build like swords and like guns, and that's completely fine because they know how to control it. So there's nothing wrong with painting a Nerf gun, but if you go outside looking like a samurai, like walking through swinging swords, that's not cool. Just like painting a retaliator. Black.
All right. So, well, thank you very much for agreeing to be interviewed. Hopefully, this segment will continue onward, and I'll get more people to agree to be interviewed by me. So, thank you, Coop, for taking the time to do this with me. And
did other people deny you?
No, actually, I mean, you were basically the first person I think you were like on Facebook or something. I was like scrolling through it. I'm like, maybe I should interview people. Okay, I'll try Coop. So thank you for agreeing right off the bat.
You're welcome.
So, all right. See all of you YouTube viewers later.
Goodbye.